In this video, we are going to be looking at angles on a line. Now, the first thing you need to know is that a line is the shortest distance between 2 points. Now, for example, if I have 2 points, there are various ways I can join these 2 points together. I can decide to do something like this, or we can go with a curve. But if we want to look for the shortest distance between these points, it's going to give us a line. Do you understand? Now, when two lines meet, we have what we call an angle. So this is line A, this line B, they meet at this point, and here they form an angle. Does that make sense? When any two lines meet, they form angles. Line C, line D, they meet at this point, they form angles. Do you understand? Now we move to what we really want to deal with in this video: angles on a line. Now if I've got a line like this, now if I want to measure this angle like an arc from the line that ends on the line, if I use a protractor to measure this angle, you will find out that this angle is 180 degrees. Do you understand? So angle on a line is equal to 180 degrees. Does this make sense? Now with this insight, can we solve a couple of questions? So we have this question: find the unknown in the diagram below. Now let's try to solve this. Now if you look carefully, this is a line, and then we have an arc coming from the line and ending on the line. So it shows that this angle on a line. And so angle on a line, we know that sums up to 180 degrees. So what this means is that if I add these individual angles, 57 plus A, I should get 180 degrees. Can you see? So look, I drew this arc. Now everything on the part of this arc, if I add them together, it should be 180 degrees. Now you can see that this arc is like a semicircle. Do you understand? So reason, angles on a line sum up to 180 degrees. So make sure you don't forget this. So can we collect like terms? If we collect like terms, 57 goes to meet 180. So we have A equals to 180. When plus 57 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes minus 57. So we have A equals to 180 minus 57. We borrow 1 here, it becomes 7. 10 minus 7 is 3. 7 minus 5 is 2. And then we have 1. So we have 123 degrees. And this is our answer. Do you understand? Let's take another question. Now we have this question: find the unknown in the diagram below. Now we can see this is also a line, but this time around we don't have any figure. Instead we have this box-like shape here. Now anytime we have a box-like shape, it signifies 90 degrees because it's like a perpendicular angle. So yes, 90 degrees. Do you understand? So anytime you see, it signifies 90 degrees. Does that make sense? Now we can still have the arc-like semicircle. So it means that angle on a line sums up to 180 degrees. So we add up all the angles on this part. So we are going to be having F plus 90 equals to 180 degrees. Why? Angles on a line sum up to 180 degrees. Do you understand? So we collect like terms. 90 goes to meet 180. We have F equals to 180. When plus 90 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes minus 90. Do you understand? F equals to 180 minus 90 will give us 90. So we have 90 degrees. Does this make sense? So don't forget that box-like shape signifies 90 degrees. Does that make sense? Let's take another question. So we have find the unknown in the diagram below. This is also simple. Now don't forget this is a line, and then you can see that arc coming from the line and going back and joining the line again. So it signifies angle on a line. angles on a line sums up to 180 degrees. So we add all the angles on this part, that's B, 50 and 25. So we have B plus 50 plus 25 equals to 180. Do you understand? So we write the reason: angles on a line sum up to 180 degrees. Does this make sense? So we are going to be having B plus 50 plus 25 will give us 75 equals to 180. We collect like times. 75 goes to meet 180. So we have B equals to 180. When plus 75 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes minus 75. So it means B equals to 180 minus 75, which means B equals to 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 7 is 0, and then we have 1. So B equals to 105 degrees. Do you understand? Alright, let's take another example. So we have this question: find the unknown in the diagram below. Now, even though these lines look slanted, it still follows the same logic. Sum of angles on this line will still be 180 degrees. So it does not matter if the line is vertical or horizontal or slant. It still follows the same rule. Does that make sense? So can we solve this? Now see the arc coming from the line ending on the line. It means the angle on a line sums up to 180 degrees. But now careful, and this part we have this box, so it signifies what? 90 degrees. Does this make sense? So we add all the angles on this part. Can we do that? So we have M plus 38 plus 90 equals to 180 degrees. Why? Angles on a line sum up to 180 degrees. Do you understand? So we are having M plus 38 plus 90, 8 plus 0 is 8, 9 plus 3 is 12. So we have M plus 128 equals to 180 degrees. We collect like times. 128 goes to meet 180. So we'll be having M equals to 180. When plus 128 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes minus 128. Do you understand? So M equals to 180 minus 128. 10 minus 8 is 2. Then we have 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. So M equals to 52 degrees. Do you understand? Alright, another example. So we have this question. You can see that this is plural. So we have two unknowns, K and T. Now if you look, it's like this is more complex than what we've treated earlier, but it's still simple, because if you look, we have the upper part and the lower part. So what we are going to do is to take the upper part first and probably the lower part secondly. Do you understand? Alright, so let me draw the upper part first so that we can see it clearly. So we've got something like this. This place is 100 degrees. We've got K degrees. And then we've got 20 degrees. Do you understand? So now we are expected to find K. Now if you look clearly, this is an arc that comes from the circle and ends on the circle. So it tells us that it's angle on a line, and all we need to do is to add all the angles on the parts and equate it to 180 degrees. Do you understand? Can we do that? So we'll be having 20 plus 100 plus K equals to 180 degrees. What's the reason for this? Angles on a line sum up to 180 degrees. Sum up to 180 degrees. Do you understand? 20 plus 100 will give us 120. So we have 120 plus K equals to 180 degrees. We collect like terms. 120 goes to the other side. So we'll be having K equals to 180 minus 120. Do you understand? So K equals to 180 minus 120 will give us 60 degrees. So it means that K equals to 60 degrees. Does this make sense? Now we've got to do the other part, which is the part that is below, to be able to find t. So can I draw the part below so that we can see it clearly? So we have this, and then we've got this. This place is t degree. We've got 80 degrees, and then we've got 3t. Now if you look, this is an arc starting from the line and ending on the line. Does this make sense? So we have angle on the line, and we just add all the angles on that part and equate to 180 degrees. Can I rub up this part so that I can do this? So if I add all the angles on the part, I'll be having 3t plus 80 plus t equals to 180. Why? Because angles on a line sum up to 180 degrees. Does this make sense? So if I collect like term, I'll be having 3t plus t plus 80 equals to 180 degrees. Do you see I've not taken anything across the equal to sign? So the sign did not change. I just rearrange to bring 3t and t together. 3t plus t will give us 4t, and then I have plus 80 equals to 180 degrees. So 80 goes to meet 180. I'll be having 4t equals to 180 minus 80 degrees. Do you understand this? Alright, let me do the remaining here. So I'll be having 4t equals to 180 minus 80 is 100. So to find t, I divide both sides by 4. 4 year 1, 4 year 1. I'm left with t equals to 4 year 1. 4 in 10 is 2, remainder 2. 4 in 20 is 5. So it means t equals to 25 degrees. Do you understand?